Arsenal are a frustrating team to watch, it has to be said. I don't really overly blame them for doing it. It's just difficult when your team's losing to watch the opposition team killing time. You know, it really is. It's a really frustrating thing. And I can understand how Declan Rice let his anger spill over a little bit towards Nketiah. I'll tell you what, talking about that Nketiah, he's up on a free transfer. He's available. He's been linked with us loads of times. Now, this kid has got the record for the England under-21 goal scoring. He's basically the best ever goal scorer in England under-21s. He's been linked with us loads of times. He's out of contract at the moment. If he was ever likely to come to us, and by the way, I don't think he should, because I just don't think he's very good. I mean, if he was with us, he'd just sit on the bench, wouldn't he? Let's be honest with you. We'll deal with Antonio in a minute, but he's certainly not as good as Bowen. He's not as good as Antonio. And anyway, even if he was, I think that little spat with Declan Rice had made him very, very unpopular. Anyway, but I got Declan Rice's frustrations, particularly given how well Declan Rice had played in that game. And Declan Rice wasn't on his own. I mean, just Zuma was. It's magnificent to have him back because he was so good. And that's one of the things that gives me real hope for the Frankfurt game, because I felt he was a little bit rusty against Frankfurt coming back. And maybe not rust is probably not the right thing. That suggests he's been out for a long time. Or he's metal when he's had a reaction to water. But aside from those descriptions of what rust actually is, I felt that maybe the injury got the better of him and he was feeling his way back into it against Frankfurt. He looks up for it, he looks fit, he looks sharp, and that's really good. But Dawson to come back, I mean, even he's got the option of playing Diop there and playing a back three. That was our problem against Frankfurt, was the defence. And don't get me wrong, our problem against Arsenal in that game was also the defence. But the problems we saw against Arsenal are easily solvable because we just didn't have enough big blokes, and that was basically the problem there. So look, you know what? I was really pleased to see that Fabianski played particularly well, although, I mean, his saves were brilliant. Oh, the bit where he took ages. I mean, he did a counter-attack. He just did what Fabianski does. And when he's doing it, which is, what does Fabianski do? He makes out he's going to throw it. Oh, and he doesn't. Makes out he's going to roll it under. Oh, no, stop. And what he does when he does it, every time he makes excuses, he explains to it. Oh, no, I couldn't do it there because of him. Oh, no, I couldn't do it there because of him. I was going to do that, but he's there. Oh, my goodness. It was two things that massively killed time in terms of counter-attack in that game. And one of them was how long it takes Fabianski to throw it out. And the other one was when Benrahma's on the left wing. He was better in the second half when he moved, by the way. But my goodness, he drops the shoulder, he turns left, he twists, he turns right, left, right, left, right. Oh, my word, just crossed the ball. You can understand why Moyes is interested in the lad at Hull, Keane Lewis Potter, because he's just direct. One or two moves, bang, cross. Simple as that. It suits our style a whole lot better. If Benrahma's got any future at West Ham, it really has to be as an attacking midfielder. It's just completely incompatible with the way we play. It really is completely incompatible. Listen, before I go any further, let me just point you, if I may, in the direction of our Patreon account. What's our Patreon account? Well, it's a way that you can support Hammers Chat and also get a bit of extra content and a discount in our store. Now, we're running a promotion at the moment. That's if you sign up to Patreon for the year, you get 16% off. You can play monthly. We've got 4 different tiers. I'll try and pop up on screen. First one's £3 a month plus VAT. It's about £3.60, something like that. £4 a month. That is everything that was done on the main channel, downloaded and put onto podcasts. You can just listen to it for your ears, basically. £5.50, that's our mild addicts. £5.50 a month plus VAT. There's mugs of tea, match day player ratings, opposition previews, player ratings, breakfast shows, Patreon podcasts, 20% discount our online store, which is really, really good. And then if you're really into Hammers Chat, you can become a Hammers Chat addict. That's £11 a month plus VAT. It's just loads and loads of stuff. Very recently, we actually gave away some Frankfurt tickets, by the way. Didn't know that, did you? We got some Man City tickets to give away. We had Q&As with a West Ham scout. You also get some updates when you do this stuff, so we let you know what the plans are going forward for Hammers Chat. The most important thing is, though, it's a great way to help the channel out. The link is in the description below. That is patreon.com/Hammers Chat. Now, on to the more tricky of the subjects here. It's Antonio, really. Antonio's worrying the hell out of me. He is worrying the absolute hell out of me. Okay, Antonio. Let's get something right here. Antonio, if we go back on the season, Antonio was meant to be our main striker this season. After we decided he was going to be our main striker, and then decided to go back and do some work with Jamaica, do some work. What was he doing? Driving a bus, doing a bit of digging. No, actually go and play football for Jamaica. I felt this moved the goalposts as far as the club, David Moyes, were concerned, and I felt there was a certain amount of disappointment. We flew him around on a private jet to Jamaica and back, not just generally. We didn't fly him from Rush Green to Stratford on a private jet, although he could have gone in David Gold's big chopper. We gave him private doctors and whatnot. I would suggest that if any of us thought that the Mikel Antonio experiment wasn't going to work out, bearing in mind how good he was last season and how good he was at the start of this season, it would have been because he got injured. Well, it hasn't really happened. He's had a little injury here or there, but basically, Mikel Antonio has been fit for most of the season. I think it's a miracle. Didn't expect it. I think the one thing that we probably didn't expect was we would see him, dare I say it, being a bit useless. Look, he got a goal against Frankfurt. That was great, but he's not been in great form for a long, long time. We were in the game against Arsenal. We were massively in the game. It was 2-1. David Moyes made substitutions, and David Moyes, I thought, got a lot of stuff wrong at the end of that game. It was a difficult thing, I think, for David Moyes to see himself getting schooled by his former student in Mikel Arteta, but he did. I think at the start, David Moyes had his number. By the end of it, Mikel Arteta had sort of turned the tactical screw, so to speak, and basically he'd outthought. The apprentice outthought the master, is what I'm saying on that one. So enter Antonio, 70 minutes, give us 20 minutes to get something out of the game. Gave us another threat there on the right, which would be Jared Bowen, of course, and then obviously puts Antonio, the guy, somebody to actually give us a bit of physical presence up front, which is something I thought we'd lacked for most of the game. Well, number one, he was ineffective. Number two, I just didn't see a massive amount of urgency from him. I didn't see a massive amount of runs. I didn't see him, biting into people, dropping deep to try and pick up the ball, pulling wide. At one point he did, don't get me wrong, but I just didn't see an awful lot of urgency, particularly for somebody who apparently had gone on record and said that he was disappointed not to play against Chelsea. I don't know. I get the impression that that all is not well in the good ship Antonio, so to speak, but certainly in terms of his relationship with David Moyes. I'm not saying it's complete relationship breakdown, but I do believe, and I refer to this the third time, this interview he did with BT Sport, when he was asked about Antonio, I was really spiky from Moyes. Really, really spiky. Actually, never mind spiky. Rude and disinterested when he was asked to speak about Antonio. So, I wonder if there's something going on there. But, I mean, we're going to need a whole lot better than that if we're going to get anything for the game against Frankfurt. As I mentioned earlier on in the video, I think the defence, there's a lot to be cheerful about with the defence. So I really do think so. Particularly with players coming back, I think we can put out a couple of proper centre halves. I think Soufal would probably play on the right, because I think Soufal played well against Arsenal. The left, I thought Fredericks was all right in this game. To be fair, didn't provide an awful lot of attack, but you know what, he did all right. But obviously, I'd expect Cresswell to play there. We basically get what looks like a normal-ish back four. The attack is a worry. The attack's a major worry. I've already discussed about Antonio. I'm worried about that. I'm really worried about Fornell's passing. You know what you're getting with Fornells in terms of, outright commitment and whatnot. But obviously, we've just seen it against Frankfurt for the first goal out. He let his man run in behind him. And you just seen in this game, his passing was so off. I mean, and not only so off, Fornell's passing was the springboard for a lot of Arsenal attacks. And I do worry about that. He's so committed to the cause. But I just think when you are honestly trying to prise a team open, you cannot afford to keep relinquishing the ball and giving it to the opposition. That's a bit of a worry, but it's not. The result is a shame, but I do feel there are some players that look like they're in form, and the form of Declan Rice is immense. I mean, he's looking like the best midfielder around at exactly the right time. Zuma, exactly where we think he should be. I do think there's something to be said for Areola being in goal, as well as Fabianski played against Arsenal. they did target him by hanging balls up above him. I think teams don't do that to Areola, basically, because he's quite happy at coming and claiming the ball. I think it looks like, even though, well, he got the assist, didn't he, Soufal? He looks sharp, he looks fit, he looks match ready now. Now we're starting to get some of the component parts of a team. Bowen looks good. What I'm saying is we got 5 players, I believe, who are right up, fit, sharp and on it, and who looked okay against Arsenal. There is another underbelly, whatever. There's basically about half the team who didn't look quite on it, quite up for it. That's a worry. But you know what? Wolves did us a favour. No, he didn't. Brighton did us a favour. Well, I guess Wolves did as well by losing. Brighton did us a favour. Wolves did us a favour by losing. I still think we can overhaul Manchester United. I really do. But we need to start winning at some point, and we need to start on Thursday. Otherwise, it could really sort of peter out into something a little bit crap, really. Anyway, that's me done. I'll catch up with you tomorrow. There was one thing I was gonna say actually. Just when I was going through all of that there, I was very, very pleased. I've got to say, very pleased with how well Cresswell played at centre back. So that's the other thing I want to say. I don't want to see him there all the time, and I just thought he looked good. I thought Frankfurt got at him when he was wide. I thought as centre back he looked pretty good, and also he showed some urgency as well going forward when we needed to. It was a bit of a weird formation. Sometimes we only had one defender there at the back, but do you know what? In many respects, it sort of worked, particularly when you got a crap striker up front like Nketiah.